Hey, what's up, guys? It's Day Day, world's favorite trucker, aka your world's favorite fitness freak trucker. Yes, future bodybuilder. I'm just up, man. This is the life of being a trucker and then coming home expecting to get sleep. And as soon as you get home as a trucker, that's it. Like it's a whole different vibe. Come hang out with you guys for a bit, see who's up, see who hops on. Just come hang out, ask questions if you want to, hop in the live chat, you know, let me know you're present. Me, pretty much hopping on and being up for hours, and then when you get home, the whole in different time zones. So it's messing up your sleep pattern, your load. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Is not on my side. So instead of me just laying there complaining about it, really come talk to you guys and just kind of vibe out with y'all for a bit. Let you guys. I'm in Cali time zone, so it is exactly 4:06 here. I have not, and that was an hour back because I was coming through Arizona. So yeah, tough time for me. Being a trucker and being on the road home is like the hardest thing in the world. All in all, the stuff that you have to deal with, the breakdown, and then you're trying to work out, you're trying to be healthy, you're trying to give your body the proper rest. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And trust me, I promise you, it gets hard because you want to come home and you want to be able to hop in your. When I'm home, as soon as I take a shower, it's like, what's next? Like, you know what I'm saying? 1K right now. I'm on the road to 1K. I'm out here grinding. I'm not stopping. I'm dropping video tutorials. I'm showing you guys different recipes. Not only that, I'm showing you guys things that you guys can be doing while you're at home working out. Like if you don't have a gym membership, not only that, I can achieve your goals. They're not far fetched. And they're like, well, how do you do this on a truck? A lot of discipline. It's a lot of discipline. Being on a truck 24/7, almost like I'm on a truck more than I'm home for sure. So like I usually try to be home 7 days. So if not 7 days, a month spread out. So I'll go out for 8 days, out, rip and run, state to state, state to state, time zone to time zone, gym to gym, grocery store to grocery store, delivery to delivery, and then I'm home. So like right now, I'm getting ready to go right back out because of COVID. COVID was, having to really stop and make sure you get a 45-minute workout a day. Workout at, you know what I mean? And being a trucker, you would think like, oh, truckers don't care about their weight. Yes, I do. I care. I care a lot. Yes, yes, yes. I own it. I own it. I'm currently I own my truck, but I'm currently um with a company though. So I'm at, trust me, I'm straight. You know what I mean? It's a lot when owning your own truck. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like they're like, oh, I want to get into trucking. You know what I mean? I want to be a trucker. How do I do it? And I tell them you got to go to truck driving school. And they act. I tell everybody this before you go out and start a business, any business. I don't care if you are going out and you're about to sell plastic cups. You should know the business. You should learn the business. A lot of people don't learn the business, so they get in trucking. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So my the spot I go through, they dispatch me and they take care of me and they treat me like family. Like I wouldn't even be there if it wasn't like what I wanted. And I get my way. I'm gonna just let you guys know. I am better as I get older and I learn to control what I want and the people I put around me and the people I get to know. So to be honest with you, you know how they say it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is not let me do what I do. They wouldn't let me go to the gym. Like, oh, you're going on. He's like, hey, you do your thing. You know, I love the fact you work out, stay on it. You know what I mean? So that is who you know, who can really push you and get you to where you want to be and People need to start to understand that. Like a lot of people like, oh no, I'm just understand the job. I remember when I got my when I, you know what I'm saying, start getting those raises, you start getting promotions because you know the business, you know what to do. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm gonna get in trucking and this is it, or I'm gonna open a trucking company, and then they fail. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen firsthand. I have relatives that done it. I have outside friends that done it. They go in debt, and then it's like, okay, how do I get out of debt? A lot of people start a trucking company and they think, okay, I'm gonna take a loan out on my house. I'm gonna refinance my house. Boom. Okay, so you refi. Okay, boom. You really don't have a clue on how to be a trucker. You just like, okay, well, boom, I'm gonna sit behind the office. A lot of people who are successful in the business and owning businesses of trucking companies, they've drove before. They know how it operates. They've created rapport with different dispatches and different brokers. You have to know the business. It is a chain of command. In any business, there's always a chain of command. But when you are an owner operator, you have to understand that you need to know the broker. You need to know who you're shipping to hours a day. And then after that 11 hours a day, you got to rest for 10 hours. Okay. That trucker goes to sleep. They go into a truck stop and they eat. And then they hop in their truck and they go to sleep. Me, no, my body's not even gonna let me do that. My first trusted me with certain load, like, hey, I need to take this. I need you to run this location right here. You know, I need you to get these numbers up over here. I need you to do your thing over here because you know the business and you know how to run the business. And a lot of people don't understand that when you have to learn the business. You can't just, it's not something you can go to school and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. You have to actually put yourself in that position. So driving state to state and understanding how these time zone works, DOT, Department of Transportation, because this is DOT is looking for. You know how to keep your logs together. You know, it's a job. People think like, oh, you're just a truck driver, you're good. No, it gets stressful. You got to make sure your truck is up to par. You got to make sure you're good. You got to make sure your time is good. Your biggest enemy during sleep if you're 80,000 pounds or 79,000 pounds. Don't, the truck is already around 36, 37,000 pounds. And then you got all this extra, you know what I mean? And you got to go through these different time zones, hit these way stations. And then it's like you're dealing with extra stuff. So to understand how to prevent all these fees and tickets and missing out on time, on delivering on time, you got to know the business. So I always tell people to learn the business with trucking. Like, you know how a little bit about working on cars, you will be able to identify parts on a truck because they're way bigger. You know what I mean? And then people are like, oh, okay, so, you know, I'm going to go to truck driving school. Okay, yeah, go to truck driving school. Once you go to truck driving school, they're going to teach you. And not only teach you, they're going to give you the answers. They're going to show you how, hey, you know, I want to drive trucks, or I want to become successful in this. And you don't want to take the time to learn the business, so you can't be successful. And that's why I tell people like, hey, you know, if you want to learn the business, you need to take your time, learn the business, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then go do it. But, you know, I'm just vibing out with you guys right now. So me being, like I said, me being home right now and being from hopping on a truck to chilling out right now and nowhere near. And I'm hyper 24/7. You can't have a hyperactive person like it's just boom, like, hey, go to sleep. Your body's not gonna do it. It's not. It has to wind down on its own, like, okay, yeah, we're chill mode. Let's go to sleep. So not cheaters. Okay. Not all truckers cheat. Not all truckers have girlfriends in every state. So that is a myth. That's a myth. Some of the people that people might deal with do just will put you in that zone to where it's like you're out there on the road, you don't have no choice but to figure out what you really want to do. Like, so while you're out there on the road, just because you drive trucks doesn't mean you can't do 50 million other things. You know what I mean? Or just because you drive trucks doesn't mean you can't go to multiple places or go hang out in different areas or you know, fighting for who? You. It's a phone call away. Now that we have all these technologies, Like, hey, we can hop on FaceTime. I can see what's going on. You can see what's going on. You can see the view. I can see the view. And now that we have like all these different ways of communication, to be out there by yourself and learning yourself, you will learn yourself being a trucker. People get it misconstrued like, oh yeah, truckers, they didn't know. You will learn yourself. You will find yourself because a lot of people in today's society can't be by themselves. You gotta create your time, your time stamp. You gotta do what you want to do. Whoever wants to be healthy, whoever wants to be unhealthy, pull over and barbecue your own food because you're on the road for the next 4 days because or 6 days because you gotta go from Cali to Vermont. You know what I mean? It's different things. But the view, I will say, the view is the most peaceful, dopest view I ever had a chance of experiencing. Will I go back to Vermont? No, can't pay me. But it was just a dope view. Like you were able to clear your mind. You seen the water. It was black. You had the snow. You had cabin. Had smoke coming up. It was just crazy. Like, and I just remember just like vibing with them. But I was on ice and I was just sliding through. I wasn't worried about anything. And I got to my destination perfectly fine. You're in New York. You're going through New York. You're going through the whole year. And you know what I'm saying? We'll sell you what we have here. We've stocked up on this for the winter time. I promise you. Like, it's crazy being on the road because you find all these old school butchers. You find old school, like, restaurants and people that still do things old school style. So, like, it's crazy because people will be like, well, what do you like most about being on the road? It's that I get to experience different things. I can stop at a old style butcher and he cut me some steaks like this, and he'll pull this thing out, pull the meat, cut it, and I'm watching him do it. And this is USD grade A, USDA, not no chemical. Certain butchers that you go to will tell like, okay, this is the meat that you want, or you can get this for a lower price. But it's just crazy, like, because you're moving freight, and freight always has to move. It doesn't matter what it is, where it has to go, it always has to move. So whether you're going from Cali to Arizona or Cali to, like I said, Vermont, I've been all over the US. I've been all over the US. I've had the pleasure of seeing the US in its open eye. You know what I mean? I've been on every highway. I'm like a human, but being a trucker, being on the road, like 20 exit number. That's how good I am in certain states. Like, okay, boom. If you get off right here, that's the exit. Whoa, that's right there. You can go over there and do this with you. Whoa. Wherever you need to go, I can tell you how to get there. I can tell you what turnpike. Like I said, the only thing that's not on your side with being a trucker is even when you stop driving after 11 hours, say you drive your whole 11 hours. Some people only drive 8 hours. Some people only drive 7.5. Me, I like to get to where I'm going. So I'm going to drive my into my 11. And as soon as I pull over, I get in the back and I'm like, okay, nah, sleep's not on my side. I want to cook. I'm in there cooking, chefing up. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm drinking egg whites raw or just doing what I do. It's either cooking, chefing up, drinking egg whites, making a shake or something, making some tea, chilling out. And then after that, it's like, okay, we're asleep. You know what I mean? You have to be shut down, period, for 10 to be wide awake. But what I like to tell people is you have to be able to adjust. And you'll never fully adjust because you'll be in a whole different time to get a call like, hey, it's a dope job. You know what I mean? That's just like being a pilot. You get to fly over the world. You get to see everything. You get to vibe out. And then, like, that's just like being vibe out. It's pretty dope. It's a cool little gig. But I will tell you this. If you have a problem drinking, don't do it. If you have a problem with any narcotics, don't do it because you will ruin your life completely. No, you get a DUI, you ruin your whole life. You'll never get your license back. You will have to go through, you will never get your license back. You will never get a driving job a day in your life. You will lose your class A's that quick. I don't care if you own your truck and you was making 120K, 140, and I'm like, huh? They want you to go drug test. Why? What did I do? Like, and then you gotta go pull over and you gotta go drug test, and then it's like, oh, I always and drink and party and go state to state. And those are the people that either end up, and it's sorry to say, like they either end up killing themselves, killing somebody else, going to jail, or losing their license and fucking messing up their life. Like anywhere in the world, you know what I mean? You need to be able to be good. And another thing is like having a relationship on the road. That's the hardest thing to do. A lot of people don't understand having a relationship on the road gets hard because your partner has to know that you're going to be on the road 24/7. Most going to cause problems because you can't sit there and think and focus on the road because you're going to be worried about what's going on at home. You're going to be worried about what your partner is doing or what your I pride myself on being home in 8 days. I'm home in 8 days. I get a load out, better be dispatching me to pick that load and go home straight like that. I don't want to be sitting there chilling. I don't want to be on a 34-hour reset anywhere. I want to go home. And if I have to be on a 34-hour reset, put me somewhere where I have family. You know what I mean? Or at least like it's 200 miles, 50 miles away. Want to like be successful. Sometimes the people that are around you, you got to let them go. And if you're trying to take or what level you're trying to get to. And just like I said, being a truck driver, it will make you. It can make or break you. People fail their first couple of months of truck driving because they can't take being on the road. They can't take missing holidays. They can't take missing birthdays. They can't take missing their birthday. You know what I mean? Like they want to be home for their birthday just so people can say happy birthday and heaven. And when I say 24/7, I mean 24/7. He stopped driving, I started driving. Our truck never stopped. And we would be ripping Cali, come home for 2 days, party, chill out, unwind, and then hop right back on the road. Come home for a day, party, chill, unwind, and then hop right back on the road. Like we were ripping and running the whole time. Then as the time grew and we split, we would do everything, self-calculations and dealing with extra stress where people's like putting, you need to be home, you need to do this, it's not gonna work out. I'm telling you, you're gonna be stressed out the whole day and wondering like, dang, will you ever be in a relationship? I don't know, because I do get busy. And even when I'm home, as you see, I rip and run 24/7. Like I have to go back and do it. So I'm overly knocked out. It is around 4:31, probably 5:30. Sleep will find me. And that's crazy because dealing with different time zones, it's like you get 2, maybe 3 hours of sleep. You'll get 2 to 3 hours of sleep, guaranteed. And you got to park on the side of the road. So watching, and hearing trucks ride past and cars, you don't want nobody to wreck in front of you or anything like that. So that does cause problems as well too, because like you'll never get your full sleep. You know what I mean? And then you're always going to be up because even our trucks are going to be up because there's other trucks around. You don't want nobody to hit your truck. It's just different things with trucking. So if you guys are trying to get into trucking, most definitely, I would say understand the business, drive for a year. I don't care if you just want to open a trucking company, drive for a year so you can understand yourself. I am training to be a body. That caused me to have to, sit down a little bit because when the gyms closed, like before the gyms closed, I was on it. I was smacking it every day. I was ready. I was ripping and running. I was in the gym. Now that I know how to make what I have in the truck work for me, it's no stopping me. Healthy. They just want to get themselves up to par. They're like, hey, I'm feeling sluggish all the time. I just recommend everybody works out. You know what I'm saying? Even being a trucker, being on the road, I recommend you work out, get some cardio. Even if you can't go get cardio in like 5 times a week, try to get cardio in 3 times a week. Try to get it in, twice a day if you can, like it just doesn't matter. Just keep your see it all too well. A lot of people are out there on the road, stressed out. It's flagging like crazy for sleep apnea. And when I say flagging, they're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You're super overweight. You got sleep apnea, high cholesterol. You can't be out here on the road. You got any complications nowadays. They're trying to get you off of the road because so many truck drivers have heart attacks on the road. Like you don't even realize how many truck drivers will have a heart attack on the road. Um, like I said, being a a, 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 a secondary parent, which is like an auntie to my niece, and being on the road, it does get frustrating because she will raise kids on the road. A lot of people are starting to take their kids on the road and homeschool them. And then due to COVID, a lot more people had their kids out on the road and were riding with them and letting them see the world. That's the best way for anybody to see the world, is to just chill out and vibe and ride and get a full history lesson on different locations, different areas. Like, oh, well, this, and this. Well, homeschool. You know what I mean? People find excuses for anything. I've been parking at the gym every day almost for a whole year until COVID hit. And then when it was like, okay, boom. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was parking at the gym, waking up. I would get up at work time and go work out, which is California time, and I'm still on California time zone, and go hit cardio, shower, get back to the chill out. It's all about timing. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And I believe in all that 5 Ps. You know what I'm saying? Because if you plan properly, I guarantee you'll create wealth. And people fall short of that because they get so one track minded, like, oh, I need to just work a straight job and this is how I create wealth. No, it's not. There's so many things that you can do to create wealth and to just have different sources of income coming in, residual income coming in. So you can be successful in the world with that. You know what I mean? I'm up, I'm ripping and running, I'm out, I'm handling my business, I'm doing what I need to do. From vending machines to whatever, you know what I mean? It's so many different ways, inspirational motivation, but you guys will also get a lot of educational too as well too, because I don't like to withhold information just for myself. I like to hand it out. I want to make sure each and every one of you guys that come to my page walks away with something, even if it's a laugh or it's just some motivation, like I said, or something educational. And I will be talking too more on in the stocks, but you know what I mean? And not stressed out on how you're going to pay another bill or do something different. Money. And he was like, I can tell. And he told me, call me. Got his number still to this day. He's like, call me when you get your first year's pay stub. And guess what I did? I called him and I told him. And he's like, what? Like, he's like, you got to be kidding me. He was like, I told you. He said, I know when a person has it and when a person doesn't, or when somebody's going to get it and then they're going to stop doing it. A lot of people that I went to truck driving school with, we all stayed in touch, but everybody did their own thing. Everybody fell off. Like, some people couldn't handle being out there. Some people anything. So you got to always have different plans and different about how you're going to pay a bill, or if you're going to be able to go eat dinner tomorrow night. I hate the one thing that I hate, it doesn't get lonely because everybody can't go. Everybody's not meant to go. Some people want to be fed. Some people are just workers. Some people want to help you get to your goals. Some people see your vision and want to add to it, get to what, you know what I'm saying? And you have to create your circle based upon that. So when you do get to the top, you have your circle that went to the top with you. If you say this person is down for me, like, oh, this has been my best friend for 20 years, that person can turn on you at a drop of a dime while you're trying to climb to the top, because they start to not see your. That's not going to work. Trust me, it will happen. People don't understand how the world works. It is such a crazy thing. I'm telling you, like, the power of manifestation is so powerful. Like, when you start to see yourself doing something and visualizing yourself getting to a level that you've always wanted to get to, you'll start to become that person. You'll start to turn things around. And people feel, I don't have no friends to go to the top of me. Find 10 people and bring them up. If you can't find 10, find 5 and bring them up to the top with you. You know what I mean? And then it's not lonely. And then they'll understand what it is to top. So they won't be so focused on what you have going on or this and you, because they want to get to the top too. You know what I mean? And then guess what? They'll bring 5 people to the top with them. It doesn't matter their position. I promise you, this is how it goes. It's chain of command. You bring 5 people, each one of them will bring 5 people. They see how you did it. they'll follow you. It's everybody follows suit. Everybody follows a leader at one point or another. And you know, you and I tell people, "Hey, I did this and it's okay, but it didn't work at this point in time." And people fall short of that because they get so caught up in listening to their mentor saying it's okay, that they forget that that's not a mistake you want to make. You know what I mean? They forget to avoid the mistake and they go make it on their own. But you have to let everybody learn self, true enough. But how you perceive and receive information is what's going to make you successful. You have to. Dom, he, my go-to guy, he's the reason why I'm really taking it serious. And like, you know, like I don't care if you go to school for 2 weeks and they teach you a rule book. If you've never trained and put yourself in a position to break yourself down and rebuild yourself and put yourself on a whole different category, then you can't train a person. You can textbook train somebody, but you can't fully train a person if you've never hit certain pinnacles. You dig what I'm saying? If like that's like a person telling you, "Oh yeah, you're gonna go through stuff in life," but they're spoon fed. You know what I mean? They've been born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And a lot of people are like, "Well, how do you know if a person was born with in cream and you're just getting and you're 22, 25, 30, you fed and you're secured, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't tell me that, hey, you're gonna go through stuff. It's natural. You can't tell me because you don't know the stuff that I'm going through. You don't know the struggles. You don't know my struggles. You've never had to endure that. You never had to deal with that. So I say self. And it's sad to say you got to think about your well-being. You got to think about your health. You got to think about how you're going to be able to maintain and stabilize. Just to, I'll tell you right now, those are either the people in your city or closest to you. The people that are going to buy from you are not going to be your homies. You know what I mean? They're not going to be your homies. They're not going to be your friends. It is going to be the outsiders, and you have to get to the next level. So I say, if you're out here and you're trying to reach a certain pinnacle, 200 pounds and a solid muscle, you can do that. I guarantee you. You just got to change your way. You have to gravitate. I still want to be successful. It doesn't work like that. Success doesn't come without sacrifice. Success and sacrifice is in the same category. And you know what I mean? It's just all about where you want to go and how you want to do it. So remember, just be yourself. And if you're evolving with the world and you're evolving in a good way, I promise you're going to be successful. 2021 is going to show. 2021 is going to be the year of millionaires. It's going to be the year of entrepreneurs. It's going to be the year of new creations, opportunities. And I say, like, just because they say like this is the new normal does not mean you can't evolve and adapt to the new normal. Just think about the gold rush. Just think about during the gold rush, they had to adapt rush. You know what I mean? They had to adapt to losing all the gold and the settlers moving west. You know what I mean? And they had to adapt to that situation. They had to adapt to people coming to start to rob because they had gold. They had money. You know, adapt to those type of situations. And when then you get what I'm saying, I might just be wise. Or you step outside of the box, step off the porch. That's when you start taking chances. I don't believe in my heart, I don't believe curiosity killed the cat. I believe pride killed the cat. Because if you're curious about doing something, you're going to look into it. I'm going to put you in harm's way. Trust me, you will be. But pride killed the cat versus curiosity, because a cat can be so prideful, like, hey, you know what? I'm a cat and I know that I have hops and I can jump from this building to that building. And if the cat was to jump, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump. I'm a cat. You know what I mean? And then you jump and then you miss it. You fall short. You know what I mean? Not being able to dig deep for myself, to go into it for myself, to see if this might be something that sparks my interest. A lot of things that people told me to do, did not to do, like happy ever since. I've been happy ever since. The thing I do, for who wants to go through the world without trying, who wants to live life without trying, when you're able to get up, when you have air in your lungs, all your limbs work, you're able to move. You know how upset and miserable some people are because, and not miserable just like, oh, they're miserable, just like they're upset. You know what I mean? They can't walk. It's people that can't walk. It's people that are bedridden. It's people that just want to be able to do stuff on their own and they can't. You know what I mean? And they lay there and they're not, I wouldn't say just jealous, but they're upset. You know what I mean? And guess what? You might be jealous of a person who has a Bentley or who lives in a huge house, but every day you wake up, you have a fighting chance to be successful. And you got to put your pride aside and yes, get curious. Yes, start asking questions. Start looking at different avenues. Yes, start reaching out to different people. Like go out on a limb. The people that you reach out to that are furthest away from you, good morning, good morning. The people that you reach out that are furthest away from you are going, you don't need to do that. You're not going to make it. You know what I mean? But the people furthest from you are going to be the ones that are like, yeah, you're going to do it. Keep going, pushing. No, you're dope. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be your supporters. They're going to be your biggest critics too. They'll tell you like, nah, that one ain't going to work, but do it again. You know what I mean? And those are the people you want around you. You don't want negative Ninas around you 24/7. Waking up on Taco Tuesday, I ain't even went to sleep yet. I'm so upset about this. I went from Dallas, made it from Dallas back to Cali. Great ride, no complaints. Only thing I want to do is get some sleep. Those sources of incomes. Don't be afraid to jump. Don't be afraid to jump. Sometimes jumping is what you need. Don't be afraid to let go. Because when you start to harbor stuff, it puts you in a category to where you have to be forced to, you know what I mean, think about or what happened. Like I didn't like everything. I didn't. I use it as fuel. I use it as fuel to get everything that I want in this life. You know what I mean? Hey, it didn't work out. I was the last of the Mohicans and I had to go get it for myself. Oh well, but I pride myself on that and I use that as fuel to go get what I want. I use that as fuel to get to they're like, dang, you do a lot. And I'm like, I don't do enough. I'm late. I got a late start. I was partying all the early 20s. I was partying, hanging out, doing everything I shouldn't have been doing. And I should have been focused on doing what I was doing, late 20s, early 30s. So I've learned a thing or two. And, the only thing that I can do is share what I know. And if this life helps you, hey, more power to you. You feel me? If it doesn't, important, you have to jump off the ledge. You have to try your hardest to get to the next level. Good morning, Devin. You got to try your hardest to get to the next level. A lot of people, because their pride is too strong, they won't work at a fast food restaurant just to stack up some bread to get ahead. They won't go work at a grocery store, or they won't, you know what I mean? It's just because I wish for each and every one of you, anybody who hops on my live, that you take is just a piece of motivation and some willpower. Get willpower, because it does take a lot of discipline and a lot of willpower to start a business, to leave friends alone, to go chill by yourself. So it's back. That's what's gonna bring you success and happiness. You're not gonna have to worry about what somebody's doing or how the next person is gonna feed themselves. You know what I mean? You're just focused on yourself. Really want to do. And write it down. Set the goal. I don't care if it's hot or if you want to go build a rocket ship and you want to go out of space. You want to send a rocket ship to Mars yourself. Study, put it together, and do it. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as a dummy. The only dumb person is the one that feels that their pride is too strong for them to get off the porch and do something different. If you feel that impressing other people 24/7 is more important than living your life, to me, that's a dumb decision. That's what you call a dummy. Now that's power. That means you're in. And you might not, but you made it and you're comfortable and you're happy and you're on in your own mindset, up to your standards. I know some people that are content with 100,000. Okay, yeah, I did need to just position myself to be able to make 100,000. It's it. And I watch them do it because they have the willpower enough to stay grounded and disciplined and focus on what it is they want and not get steered away by social media or different reality stars or something. Like, to me, a woman that can be natural in her own state is the most beautiful thing in the world. And I feel like the African American woman, and it's that she has to live by, to where she has to redefine herself to make herself happy. And it's a push for the in today's age. You know what I mean? And I think that breaks down people's confidence and it breaks down people's willpower. And that has to change in order for a lot of people to start to get out of that mindset. Because a lot of people, like I said, are caught up on what people think. And the ones that aren't, those are the ones that are like, hey, you know, they're living their life. But a person who can actually put on makeup and take makeup off and look identical, like, it goes hand in hand. You can't hate yourself and hate the situation you've been through. The situation you've been through sculpted you. You dig what I'm saying? The situation you've been through made you. And a lot of people fall short because I was poor. I was broke. But we did what we did. You know what I mean? Or growing up at my teenage years to get to where I was today. You know what I mean? Because when you do that, you block your blessings. You block your blessings. You block your success. You block your peace. You block your sanity. And most definitely, you block the willpower to be successful. You know about what people think and start caring about you. Each and every one of us, and I said us because I'm included too, we are all beautiful people. We are all beautiful people. I don't care what shade you are, what color, what race, anything. We are all beautiful people. And we fall short when we feel like we're not enough or we're not. Hold on 1 second. And people don't understand that. They get caught up like, you know, well, this person had better shoes. So what? Grind. Let those shoes, you want those shoes? Get them when you're an adult. I wanted these when I was young. I couldn't even get them. There's a pair of shoes about to come out that I couldn't get when I was young. And I'm about to get them. You know what I mean? Like, that's how that works. Like, I wanted these shoes when I was little and I couldn't get them. But I'm about to get them right now. It's you gotta have a different mindset in order to be successful in today's age. But anyways, good morning to all y'all. I'm still on Cali time zone. Daddy has not slept. I've ripped and ran. I'm gonna fill my. I got off the truck. I filled up everything that I needed to fill up, all my vending machines. I ran around everything I needed to do. Then turned around, went and fully detailed my truck, getting it ready for these next 6 weeks. That way, I did 400 push-ups online yesterday. 400 push-ups. My chest is still like bulging right now. This is straight pec right now. I can't even flex my pec. I can make my pecs jump, and I can't even do that right now. That's how pumped up my chest is. Like, it's crazy. I guess maybe I should do some cardio. What y'all think? 3 hours of sleep. It's going to the doctor. You plan for it. Plan for your day going to the doctor. You plan for your cooking your food. You plan for your day going to the gym, walking in there, doing what you need to do. So in order for you to live in a successful life, you have to be able to detach from the world as it is. You know what I mean? And it's crazy though. And I tell people this all the time. If you guys ever get a chance, make sure you guys catch me on Facebook, Daytime Franklin. Daytime Franklin. I'm on there and I'm lit on there. Just know it's a whole different person. It's a whole different person. But what you see is what you get. I don't sugarcoat anything. And I will always tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I will let people create their own view of me. You know what I mean? I'd let you create your own view of me in your mind and implement it and tell people this is what I think of this person or this is who this person is. And these people would believe it and be like, oh no, you're crazy. Oh no, you this, you're that. But really, I was over here helping you. I was over here pulling you up the ladder. And I care so much about what everybody else thought when everybody else went against me, like, oh no, you're crazy. I didn't see like the person that was standing right here, right beside me was my enemy. You know what I mean? My right-hand person, the person that I love to the death of me. You know what I'm saying? Good morning to everybody on the live. The person that I seen to the right of me and I love to the death of me was the death of me. It was slowly but surely killing me and breaking me. And I didn't see that in my younger days. I didn't see that like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I didn't see this. And I was ripping and running. Like my goal was to every day make money, go get a new outfit, go get another outfit so I can get up and get dressed just to go get it, go get money, just to go spend at hotels, hang out, get rental cars, get cars, wreck them, drive them fast. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. And the person that I thought was my right hand man ended up crossing. You were trying to put yourself on a pedestal and make yourself look good. But then in the end, how it turned out, and this is why I say what goes on in the dark will come to light eventually. Because what happens is, number one. And then number two, everything that you told everybody about me started to come out about you. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that you were telling me to hold me back and to harm me and to hurt me and to put me on hold was you. So you gotta don't be afraid to let people go. Not everybody has your best interest in life. You know what I mean? Not everybody will understand you. Not everybody will love you. Not everybody will vibe with you. And that's it. That's okay. You're not meant for everybody. But the people you are meant for are going to love you. They're going to vibe with you. They're going to connect with you. And they're going to be put in your life for a reason. You know what I mean? Now, permanent or not, some people are meant to cross your paths. And I know some people that be like, man, it was to learn a lesson. And I feel like my exes were lessons too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the things that I went through and other best friends and ex-best friends were lessons. And the people that I don't deal with go through, every failure that you go through is a blessing because guess what? You know how you don't want to feel again. You know what not to do. You know what signs to look for. Now, love is blind. Okay, love is blind. I'll tell you that right now. Love is blind. Somebody could be using you or not trying to be right by you in your face. And just because you love them, you might write it out with them. You might stick it out with them. But truth be told, let's be real. Love is blind. Because if you think you love somebody, you're going to try to write it out with them. You're going to try your best. You're going to give it your all. You're going to break you during the time being. But you're going to want to give the relationship everything you got because you believe in it. You know what I mean? You believe in this love thing. You believe in being together. And that person might just be using you. Some people do just come into your life just to use you and use you for what you have and get a stepping stone. I told if you leave the person that held you down because you're up now, you are the problem. You are the problem completely. And that's true. And don't be afraid to let people go. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me grab this. I got this candle. Oh, it's hot here. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I had my candle lit. I had to go blow it out because it was getting low. But I had my candle lit, so it was low. I had to go blow it, and it's on my dress. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like being in the sense of not being able to get your mind right and understand where it is you really want to be. You know what I mean? And you give a person your all, and you will break you, damage you. You're gonna fall short. You know what I mean? Because hey, you're trying to give a person all that you have. And mind you, giving a person all that you have will break you because you should never have to do that. A person should come give them what you want. You give them an addition. So don't fall short. I try to tell people, don't fall short. Don't cut yourself short. Don't be that person that'll go out on a limb for everybody and won't go out on a limb for yourself. Because a lot of you guys do that and you guys fall short. I did that and I fell short. And the moment I broke away, I felt so much better. Like so much better. At the moment I found myself, I felt so much better. The moment I was able to vibe and express myself, being called crazy, that's when I became powerful. And I'll admit to you, like they used to be like, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, this, and this. Like, no, you're crazy. I used to read a lot. as a kid. You're so guilty of that. It happens. Definitely, I'm gonna be real with you. It happens. You know what I mean? And you have to keep doing it over and over again. Because you know what? Some people do get lonely. Or it just is what it is. You get lonely. Back in the day, I used to get bored. You know what I mean? I don't know. My mom used to tell me there's nothing wrong with being bored. Like that. Because you know how you go to share day? I couldn't share toys. I had to read a book to the class. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't able to go out and play with the kids every day that they were outside playing and whatnot. So it messed me up as to when I got older. Like it was like I always had to like just like allow people to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate me the way they felt they needed to be played. I can bring you into this wonderful world, this beautiful creation, and you can come in and try to manipulate the situation, and I'd sit back and let you do it because I'd give you my all. Because guess what? We're cool. This is what homies do. My loyalty runs deep. Yours doesn't run that deep. You got to remember this too. A lot of people are raised on survival. Okay. Um, it's sad to say, it is. It really is. But a lot of people are raised on survival. Survival will make you lose, make me lose. If you're raised on survival and not love, it's hard for a person that's raised on love and hustle. Because just prime example. Sure, I didn't have mommy and daddy in the house. Out of my mom's four, my dad has 8 kids. But out of my mom's 4 kids that she had by my father, I'm the baby. So, yes, I got a lot of love. And then, not to mention, I'm the baby out of my cousins. All of my cousins are older than me. I'm the baby. So, I was raised on a lot of love. It might not have been materialistic, but it was love and it was hustle. And it was my cousin would go to work and she'd make sure we all ate. I'd go pick my cousin and because I was doing that. You know what I mean? But that's love. That's not me trying to get over. That's not survival. She would buy us shoes. You know what I mean? Because my auntie wouldn't do it, so she would. But I'm right up. So survival, they will have, in prime example, they'll have $1,000 in their pocket, and you'll have 300 in your pocket, and you're willing. They won't ever say, "Hey, I got 1,000," or oh, "Okay, let me pay half," or whatever we do next is on me. Like they'll use you, and even still ask you for gas money. You know what I mean? Those are the people you gotta watch. Those are people that are raised on survival. A lot of people don't understand the difference between survival and a survivalist is somebody that's just taught from birth, like, hey, you got to survive out here. You know what I'm saying? You don't have it, not raised on love. But a hustler has been raised on love. They've been kind of showed the way. Like I said, my grandfather owned a very successful construction business. And they got together when she was 13. My dad was a little bit older. Like he was like, I think 15. But when he turned old enough, my dad, first off, my dad had a Cadillac when he was 15. That's what's crazy. My dad had a Cadillac. Like my dad never spoiled. And my grandfather age. My grandfather showed him how to run. I feel like I'm definitely yesterday still figuring it out. That was my post yesterday. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I posted on social media yesterday, and I said my biggest curse is loving hard. Loving hard is my biggest curse. That is a curse. That is the gift that God gave you, but it is a curse because your loyalty is going to be everything somebody needs. But you will not give up on a person if they do you. And that's cold game. Real talk. That's exactly what my post was. Make sure you guys follow me on Daytime Franklin. But that's exactly what this is reality for me. Reality for me is that I, myself, I love hard. And I know that I would give my last to make sure whoever I love comes out on top. And I had to stop that. And I had to find myself, because when they needed somebody, nobody was around. When they needed, they got you when you got it. But when I stopped, I'm the dominant one in the room. I'm a provider in my relationship 24/7. And that's how I feel. If you're in a relationship with ones and Cortezes, you know what I mean? And anybody who knows Cali know what 501s, Levi's are, and Cortezes are. So the way I was raised was to be the dominant one in the relationship. You need to be a provider. You can't walk around and say, hey, I'm the dominant one and not provide. And if I love hard for you, I'm going to go hard. That other people have needs and feelings, emotions too. Like my exes, they would get so caught up in what I did and what I didn't do that they would forget to check on me. Like, are you okay? I know you've been ripping and running. Are you okay? I know work's tough. I know you've been at work 13-hour dinner. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to come in the house and cook dinner after a 13-hour shift. You know what I mean? And trying to go to the gym and trying to build a whole relationship within myself and be good for you and be your backbone, your support system, pay all the bills, take care of everything. You know what I mean? And nobody else was ever around. I need $500. I couldn't go to my ex. She spent all her money. And the type of person I was, I would let her keep all her money. Be like, hey, let me hold like 300. I don't have it. Why don't you have it? Okay, cool. Boom. Me at the time, my pride was so high, I'm not going to go ask nobody else. Like the fast life, living this, that we were working, we were grinding. I was up on the charts. Like I was making money. I made 120K my first year. Like every job that I honestly started, I don't honestly say like I've made 100K. But being a provider, you got to be willing to sacrifice. And that comes with a price. That comes with people not being grateful. That comes with people being spiteful at the same time. That comes with manipulation. I feel like I'm in the wrong generation. My loyalty and values are old school. Folks are different from these days. I completely understand where you're coming from. Yeah, like you don't get it because now, mind you, my grandfather, he passed away in March, not due to COVID. Just like every day he would call me. He would have my mom call me. I would talk to him, tell him what I'm seeing. But he would always vibe with me. And he would always tell me like, and like he'd be like, you're me. You grew up to be a me. You was bad as a kid, but you grew up to be a me. And that's because I still have all the same morals, the values, the respect. I still respect my elders. Like, you know how like it was a video with the girl arguing with the dude's mom about getting in the front seat? Your mom getting in the front seat. If I date you, your mom is in the front seat. Get in the front seat. I'm getting in the back. Don't even trip. You can drive. I'll get in the back. And if I gotta drive, you getting in the back. Like I respect my elders to a T. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it. He was ready though. You know what I'm saying? My grandma died in 98 and he gave us 20 years. I feel like my grandfather was like, you know what I mean? Like it was a reason he stayed 20 years after to be able to teach me core values, you know, stuff together. But, you know what I'm saying, just losing those values and all of us still believe in all that. You're going to respect your elders. You're going to shut up and respect your elders. Like, and you got to have loyalty somewhere. Like, where does your loyalty lie? If you don't have loyalty within, you're not going to have loyalty nowhere else. If you can't even be loyal on who you are to the outside world, you will never be loyal to anybody else. Like, and I tell people this because I deal with people who lie about who they are all the time. Like, oh yeah, I'm this person and I do X, Y, Z and this and this. Okay, that's cool. I'm this person. I do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm this person. I do that. But I've never sugarcoated it. And so it's a lot. It's a lot with it. And it's a lot not being able to be 100 with this generation. Because I think like this generation is so misconstrued because people don't see it for what it is. A lot of people spoil days and the kids still went over to grandma's house and everybody stayed the night. And or you guys all slept in the living room together. That created a whole different lifestyle for a lot of us. And a lot of people lost those values completely, completely. Like, remember going to grandma's house and all your cousins is over there and everybody stays the night at grandma's house? Grandma don't care. Grandma in the room chilling, doing what she do. She might be in there, passed out sleep. Your parents all went out to the club hanging out or hanging out outside and everybody just end up staying the night. Yeah, it's that type of situation. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people understand those values, and the ones that are raised on survival will cry. Then this day of how you move. The person you're dating will be dating you and swear they love you, say I love you to your face, and don't. You know what I mean? Or the person who you lay next to every night might not be making you happy. Things are different. The person you lay to every night, next to every night, might not be making you happy. So you find yourself like, okay, well, this person's not making sense. You find yourself starting to figure out like what you did wrong and get action for what you did wrong. So anything that you think you did wrong, because they got what they want. They already broke you down. They got you underneath their thumb. You know what I mean? Saying like if your goal, like, are studying now, so you can be the best lawyer, best doctor. If your goal is to own a business, do it. Figure out the particulars later. If your goal is to have a family and be married, don't search. Let the right person come to you. Because just as much as you give in a relationship, somebody else should give in a relationship. And if that's not happening, then maybe that's not the situation for you. You know what I mean? And doing positive vibes too. Who's still on the line with me? Who's still on the line? We got two. This is positive vibes, lucky in life. You know what I mean? Like becoming who you are and not trying to please everyone plays a huge factor. And that's where you got to start. You can't say, hey, I want to be in this lifestyle. You gotta pick and choose. Everything is a game of choices. You know what I mean? Everything is a game of wins and losses. And you pick your wins. If some people be like, hey, I'm about to play in the game, man, coach be like, go to bed early and be in the room, be up at practice at 6. You go out, you're not gonna be at practice at 6. You know what I'm saying? You go out, you're not gonna get up early. You know what I mean? And then guess what? You don't play in the game. That could have probably changed your life. Choices. Life is about choices. But all in all, I really want to touch bases with you guys because like I said, being on and positive vibes to go out in the world today. It is Tuesday. A lot of people fall short. Make sure you guys like the live and share it out if you can. Make sure you guys like it and share if you can. But another thing that I would like to talk about is understanding yourself. Meditation is key. People be like, Day, how did you get to this point in life to where you're able to say, hey, forget everybody. You want to know what? I came out twice. I'm going to tell you guys my coming out story too. I'll tell you. Being a Black lesbian fit trucker is hard. It's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. You want to know why? Because you got the world looking at you. Number one, you're Black. Number two, you're lesbian. Make sure that you're living up to the standard because guess what? You got A and B ready to fall short. You know what I mean? You got A and B ready to tell you where to go and what not to do and what to do. You know what I'm saying? You got A and B. Person A is going to tell you where you and person B is going to tell you on you. You know what I mean? Because you're a trucker, you lift weights. Okay. Not only do you lift weights, you work out hard. You're masculine, and you're a stud. And people think like, and then they look at you like you're supposed to be mean or rude. I'm very welcoming. I'm very welcoming. I'm the most positive person that you'll probably ever see or ever meet. I promise you I am. I'm the most positive person that you'll ever meet because I always want to see everybody win. I always want to see everybody on top. I always want to see everybody doing what they want to do in order to be successful. I always want to see everybody moving forward. Like I never want to see anybody just standing still. Even if I'm in the same spot right now, I know I'm about to move forward. So I want to see everybody else move forward as well too. Like there's no reason for that. But I will say this: being a part of the LGBTQ community has its ups and it has its downs because even within its own community, there are people that still judge the community. You know what I mean? People that judge you and make you feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean? So it plays a huge part. And I can tell people like, you know, facts because what happens is you get some of it at that. But I will give the whole live on how I came out so you guys get to know Day fully and how it is. Yes, it gets difficult on the road. Yes, I have men that tell me things that they probably shouldn't tell me. Very inappropriate things. And then being that I'm a female and I'm solo driving, you know, it's a lot of weirdos out there on the road. They say stuff, they make gestures, and to be real with you, I don't care. Like I ignore it. Being that I work out versus sit and eat and sleep, that makes a lot of people frustrated too. Because I've had men come up to me like I've walked out after getting out the gym, after showering out the gym fresh, in a good mood. I've had and walk into the truck stop, and then like the lady at the register would be like, "Oh, let me see those muscles." It's because you get that type of attention. It does get frustrating because people don't let you live. People won't let you live. People won't let you live. They always find a reason to be upset with you. And when they find a reason to be upset with you, that's what they feed off of. Like, oh, I don't because you're too buff. You know what I mean? There are so many successful women bodybuilders in the world, and those are the people I look up to. I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, you're too buff. Okay, so what? You know, like, so what? What you want to do? Okay, there's nothing I can do about my goals versus yours. My goals want me to go in there and lift 400 pounds. Your goals want you to go in there and lift Twinkies and eat chicken from the gas station. That's not my goals. So I have to kind of decipher and guess I have to move a certain type of way because people do act funny. You know what I mean? Like they warrior girl. You know what I mean? It's like cut that. You know what I mean? You gotta ignore stuff. You gotta learn to ignore things. But one thing that attracts like they're afraid to be their self. Like people walk around all day afraid and hiding who they are. If you see me out in the store right now, and I kid you not, I promise you, I'm the same way state to state. If I feel like singing while I'm pushing a cart in a store or walking out and rolling on it and singing a song, all genres of music, I'm not just I'm not musically disabled. I'll say that like what? Like you know what I mean? Like people are so quick to judge and it's crazy, but they don't really know who you are or what you really represent. So it plays a huge part. I am a funny individual. I'm happy, energetic all the time. I've always been that way since I was young. My mom used to tell me take a nap. I never could take a nap. I would have to fall asleep on my own, and I'd fall asleep either playing with my blocks or something, or on my toys or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm very energetic. I've been that way since I was young. So I think the biggest problem with me per se, and I'll say me, is that me being who I am, I know a lot of people are not going to accept it. And it does cause problems because I am a masculine female. You know what I mean? People don't like that. And a lot of people, a lot of men who have something to prove to whoever, they feel like they want to fight or they want to always argue with me. And I'm not going to try to fight you. And that's just not my get down. I'm not going to put a facade up and boast out here in the world and act like, hey, you know, this is what I want, or yeah. I mean, like that's not it. I'll really beat you up in real life. Shh, don't tell nobody that. But I really beat you up in real life. And that's why I do Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu. And that's why I stay fit. And that's why I stay on my health. Because I'm out there on the road 24/7. Who knows what can happen? And people are lunatics. You run into all type of people. Just listen to stories. Sometimes just sit there and just listen to people on the phone say that. It's like, and then they're like, oh yeah, who cares? Who cares about what? Like, that's wrong. And for people to be jealousy, and if you believe in any holy book, jealousy is in that thing. It's in every holy book. It is wrong to be jealous of anybody. It is wrong to hate on anybody. It tells you in any holy book, and I've read a few of them, it tells you that. You know what I mean? Bringing peace does not bring jealousy, does not bring any type of hatred, any type of judgment. And people secretly judge you. They say that they don't judge, but they secretly judge you. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, well, I've had people be like, oh, I don't want you around my kids because they don't know who you are, what you are. Okay, cool. That's fine too. You know what I mean? Or I've had people turn their back on me because they feel like they want to put up a facade and show everybody that they have this big character about themselves. Okay, that's cool too. Like, scratch that. Attracted to your character. And there's something about it that they don't have within self that they want to get from you. And that's cool too. Because you're going to either do one or two things. You're either going to gain something from someone, or you're going to find out something you don't like about people. And that's fact. That's law. So, and I'll be honest with you, being a trucker put me on that level to where I was able to find who they wanted me to be, or who they wanted to be, or who my exes wanted me to be, or who my exes thought I should be. Because my exes would be like, hey, I think you should be this person. I think you should be that person. I think you should do this. And it's just like, dude, that's not my swag. That's not my character. I'm not a person. You know what I mean? And then it's like, what? Why not? It's crazy because you're not that person and they want you to be. And now you're trying to figure out in your head how to be that person because you want to please everybody. But the moment you stop pleasing, you start to vibe a little different. You start to meditate. You start to get into yourself. You start to health-care. You start to self-care. You start to take care of opportunity in order to get to the next level. And when you get to the next level, each person is going to push that God in. If you never had it come out of the company you keep, be mindful of the people you bring around, and be mindful of the energy you exchange. You know what I mean? Because not all people who say they're for you and they want what's best for you want what's for you. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, YouTube channel or your Facebook, and like a post and share, because that's free. If you started a business or anything, those are the people you got to watch, because they'll tell you what they think you want to hear. In the back. Oh, you back? Hey, back. To feel like, oh, I got people in my corner. They'll tell jokes. You'll catch it and you might brush it off because either you don't want to seem like you're tripping, or you caught it and you know they did it, but you still just want to be cool. Me, if I catch a joke or sarcasm, it's done. Stream of hatred is done. Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm like a whole vibe in itself. I've been through so much, and you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my sister one day, and she's like, you've been through so much. It's crazy. Like, my sister was just telling me, like, she was breaking it down to me. She's like, you've been through so much. And people wasn't speaking about it. When I went through stuff, people wasn't speaking about what they were going through. Like, nobody's just walking around like, yeah, I went through this before, you know what I mean? Everybody's like, yeah, let the past be the past. Shut up, you know what I mean? Nobody should say anything, you know what I mean? But real talk, if you know that somebody else has been through it, and you know that you've been through it, and what you've been through might get somebody else through it, You feel me? You gonna talk on it nowadays. It's 2020. 2020 gave us the willpower to do whatever it is we needed to do. 2021 is gonna give us the willpower to lock in everything that we want to do in the growth spurt. So I just be trying to like grow with everybody, you know what I mean? Because I vibe out on so many different levels. I'm a Gemini. I am really like chill. I'm a real chill. All the old morals and values and work ethics, you know what I'm saying, that our great grandparents and grandparents instilled in us, you know what I mean? So coming off of that, you know what I mean? Like I can't do nothing but wake up and be happy every day. That powerful because you've seen a whole book and movie play out right before your eyes. You're able to go back and rewind it. Then you're able to speak about it. Because guess what? Somebody might be going through the same thing. That's why I say, like, people that are spoon fed, you can't tell me anything. I wasn't spoon fed. Anything that I had when I went and got a spoon, okay, it was just like this. This is my spoon. Dropped it on it was on the ground, right? Guess what I did? I ate with it while it was dirty. I had to go get it. That's why that's why I was trying to explain, like, my mom and dad, they were together with my sisters and brothers. Me, they divorced. We're separated. I didn't have the big house. I didn't have mommy and daddy in the house. I didn't have all the quads and the piranhas and the fish tanks. I didn't have all that. I got the bitter end of the sweet stick, and I still made what I made out of it. You know what I mean? I learned because I wanted more out of it than what I was taught. So I try to feed what I've been through so people can go through it themselves. And we'll get more daily motivation. I promise you, you will get your daily motivation, morning inspiration. You will get uh, financial literacy at its best. Because as I'm going through it and learning it and doing and building, you guys will be able to do the same thing. You know what I mean? But not to mention, as you gain self strength, self respect, self peace, self love, self care in the all in all world, this is what you're going to get. You got it right here. It's all in one. And especially because, you know, I got that comedy. But you're going to get all that. And I want all you guys to walk away with something. And blessings, positive vibes, and get those blessings and positive vibes and go about your day. Then I'd rather you take those blessings and positive vibes, reciprocate them, throw them back into the universe, and get them tenfold. You dig what I'm saying? Because when I throw them out into the universe, they always come back tenfold. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I slammed my finger in the thumb, and it still was a beautiful day. I slammed my finger in the door, and it still was a beautiful day. It ended up being a wonderful morning, wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, wonderful evening. Even though I was on the grind, and even I was on the move and on the go, and I was tired at that point when I was moving, I still made it a beautiful day because why? I had air in my lungs, and I was able to get out there and do everything I needed to do. I didn't have to ask anybody for anything. And that's major to me, to not be able to ask anybody for anything is major to me. That it is, because what happens is I take care of me. You can't tell me anything. You can't not to pay a bill. You can't tell me to go eat. You know, I'm spontaneous like that. Look, you wanna know what's crazy? Tripping. I get on Snapchat. I didn't even know my boyfriend was on Snapchat. He like, Dave, why are you standing on top of the benches? Him have had a relationship like hey, you overpaid me, bruh. For sure. Get yours off top. You didn't take your whole. Complete freedom for me is very important. I don't ever want to feel like I'm caged in or working for somebody. I'll work with you, but I won't work for you. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Like when I was on top of the truck, I did that just to driving. I pulled over just to do that. Like I pulled over just to show out. You know what I mean? Just to do that because I was feeling it. I was feeling it that morning, having a little West Coast music popping, drinking my tea, And guess what? It was just time for me to do it. It was time for me to get on top of the truck, spread my wings, chill out, yell to the I do that walking out the grocery store, listening to whatever music I want to listen to. You know what I mean? Like I do that walking out the I do that walking out the grocery store. Like, and people be like, this one lady, I remember I was in I think I was in Alabama. I was in Alabama. And the lady stopped me when I was walking out when I was rolling out the grocery store because I was on the cart. And I'm like, I love you like a love song, baby. And I'm rolling out the cart on the cart and I'm flying though. Like the cart's going shoom. It's going down the aisle where my truck was parked. And she comes up as I'm putting my cart back. Like after I unload my cart, she comes up and she's like, I wish I could do that. My kids will call me crazy. She's like, so caught up in these robotic ways of living that you're not living. Like you want to stand on your car early in the morning and videotape yourself. Do it. So what? Who cares? Like I had somebody be like, you did that for attention. Who cares? I work out online with Slick every day. It gives people motivation. It gives people hope. And it gets people moving. And that right there tells you different because they're moving in a room by themselves. And eventually they're going to move in a room with other people too. Do it. So, world, take advantage of the freedom that you got. People don't get it. Stop living in these facades or these unhappy situations. It's crazy because so many people live for other people. You don't realize it, but you do. You live for other people's approval. You live to be liked and be in a crew because some people want to hang with multiple people instead of some people want to go out and do other things instead of doing it by themselves. You know what I mean? And it's a cold game. Man, it's a real cold game. That's why I just wish everybody would start to pretend to be somebody that they're not. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta pretend to be Jill Turner or Kim Kardashian. You. So what? Your daddy ain't OJ Simpson's lawyer. So what? Okay, cool. Like who cares? Who cares? For real, like who cares? Who cares that you don't have $1 million yet? Who cares if you don't get to the next? Who cares if you're not beyond where you're supposed to be or you started late? You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares that you started life late? You know what I mean? Who cares? So what? Oh, I started late. Who cares? I didn't get my stuff together and start getting organized until 26. Family with a purpose. Good morning. Good morning. You know, who cares? Who cares? Everything happens for a reason, and everything is always going to happen simultaneously in your life. It's going to come when it's supposed to, but to you, it's going to come simultaneously. Everything is already written out for you. Your roadmap is written out for you. All you have to do is make the right or left turn that you need to take. Is going to tell you which roadmap they're going to use at that time. You dig what I'm saying? It's like me using a GPS as a trucker. If I don't follow the GPS and it says, hey, Dave, you can get there in 4 hours and 22 minutes, right? People are influenced by what they see on social media and try to rush them. Exactly. I just said that. So if my roadmap, if my GPS says, Dave, you can get there in 4 hours and 22 minutes, and then it's an alternate route that might not be for trucks, and it says you can get there in 3 hours and 22 minutes, save an hour. Now, I have a decision to make. I can either take that route. I got a gut feeling, though, I should take this route, okay? This route says this. Guess what? I take this route. It's a smooth ride. I'm on a toll road. I'm chilling. I'm not following people. I'm not following GPS. I'm not following the other people's instructions. I'm over here living life. You dig what I'm saying? So now guess what I'm doing? I'm taking my own roadmap. And yeah, I might lose truckers on the way. I might lose people on the way. I might lose friends on the way because, hey, guess what? They took her own roadmap. She made her own choice. She went left instead of going right? Which everybody's going right now, but they went left. And guess what? It's other people that went left too, and they're very successful, and they were very happy about it. And guess what? They learned a new route. They're excited. They're chilling. They got time ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? They kick back with their feet up. That's the difference. And that's the same thing in real life. People get so caught up following trends, facades. You know, trends don't last long. You always got to keep up with a trend. Facades don't last long. A person can only put on a facade for so long. You can only be someone that you're not for so long. You get what I'm saying? Like, all right, when are you gonna quit playing? And then people with multiple personalities, they'll switch it up. You know what I mean? But people, for sure. Then I have this bad too. I'll hop into my nerd mode and I won't talk. Guess what? It's not a facade. That other part of me to where I just break away from people. I'm not following the trend. I'm over here in my nerd mode, trying to get my bread right, trying to chase my paper, trying to do what I need to do for day. You know what I mean? But then you have the day 24/7. I love to chill. I love to party. But if partying comes before my money, I'm not partying. I'm sorry. I'm all about my paper. You feel me? So I'm gonna go chase that first, make sure I'm secure and I'm stable, and then I'll go party. So a facade, you don't need to. The outcome will be different for everyone. Have faith and follow your own route. Exactly. When you follow your own route, you create your own story. You get what I'm saying? You create your story. You are writing successful individual or not. You are writing your story. You feel me? And how you choose to write your story is how it will be received. Point blank, period. And that's that. If you write your story on the brink of she lived for her, you know, I can tell you it would be on my obituary. Day, she didn't care what nobody thought, and she did what she wanted to do, and she lived. That's that. Because when you stop caring, you stop putting up facades, and you start living. Are you existing? It's the same. Are you existing or are you living? How do you know if you're existing or just living? Existing means every day when you're just doing it. Living means there's never a day that there's not going to be obstacles. There's never a day that there's not going to be a time where you feel like you want to give up and throw in the towel. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be days when you feel like you don't want to keep going, or you don't want to keep pushing, or you don't want to get off the couch, or you don't want to get out the bed, or you don't want to go get out the shower because it hurts. You feel me? It's going to be days where you don't want to get up and you don't want to go do what you need to do for self. But you have to start moving and you have to be living for you. And that's the problem. People don't live for them. People live for these facades and these trends. People live for social media. They live for a like. Living for a like on Instagram or Facebook is goals for them. But how about live for a check? How about live for a trip? How about live for a full purpose? My purpose, I feel like I'm living. You want to know why? Because when I got in that car accident and other situations that aroused, my sister brought this to my attention. She's like, you're here for a reason. And you just need to embrace it. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Okay, you're right. But I am here for a reason. I've had multiple opportunities. And they all came up. And it said, Day, you're here. You're going to stay here until whatever you do. And then I start to realize, like, Day, I've been through this. You've been through this. You made it through. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You're on the route of success. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So guess what? I'm humble with what I'm gaining in my success. But guess what? I went through it. I've been there. I've done that. I felt that pain, the backstabs, the knife in my back. I felt that scar being dragged. I felt those bullets pass me. I felt those people try to hold me back. I felt those people try to close the doors on me and put roadblocks in front of me. Back mentally, you feel me? Trying to break me down to what they needed me to be, so in order for them to succeed. And then once I got a hold of who I truly was and my gift is to get on this live and speak to whoever has to feel it. My gift is to share my story and to let you know that we are all a part of the same struggle. We are all a part of the same hustle. We are all a part of the same world, but yet and still we don't have the same destiny. We don't have the same plan. We're not going to go out the same way. We're all not going to be successful the same way. We're all not going to do the same things. We all are not the same when it comes to what we want. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I feel like I really so many successful in the world and not care what people think than to walk around with a chip on their shoulder or upset or mad because they can't shake friendships. They can't shake old business partners. They can't shake old relationships. It's a difference between living and existing. And when you're existing, you're going with the flow. You might be fly, you might have a little bit of money, but you're going with the flow. When you are actually living, you're living this life. You're doing what you need to do. You stunting. You're enjoying you. You're stunting to you. You want to know what I call stunting? To me, this was the day I knew I was stunting. When Day Day by herself, Day Day went on a helicopter, chilling out by myself, drinking fabulous champagne. Those are the days that I felt I didn't need anything or anybody. And validation was not needed at all. Because guess what I was saying? And I'm still, whether or not you were fed a silver spoon or not. I hate when people be like, I wasn't fed a silver spoon. You know what I mean? I had to get it too. I ate with a dirty one. You know, I picked it up, spit shine, washed it off, and I ate with it. I ate my yogurt, my yo plate with it. You feel me? I ate my fruity pebbles with it. You know what I mean? That's the difference. And I think people forget that it's a common necessity to be blindsided. You get what I'm saying? It's a common necessity to be not blindsided by your own thoughts, your own perception of things, because it's like this facade where everybody, oh, I got a Gucci belt, I got a Louis Vuitton belt. Okay, you got a Louis Vuitton belt. Everybody has a Louis Vuitton belt. You wanna know what they got? They ain't got no Louis Vuitton belt, and I ain't got no Gucci belt. Can I afford it? Yes. Do I want it? No. Am I gonna go buy one? No. Do I have one? Yes. Was it a gift? Yes. Will I go buy myself one? No. Person, I don't follow trends. I don't follow facades. Guess what? I look good in anything I put. The clothes don't make you. People that feel like they need to be validated, they go out and buy a Louis belt, and that's their last $600 that they have, and they go spend $300 on a belt, and then guess what? They only got $300 to play with or $300 to flip, and guess what that's called? Following trends, following thoughts. Now, me personally, I ain't gonna spend it. $100 is my $150 maybe. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm buying some new shoes, then okay, cool. But let's just talk about that, the belt. If I go buy me an outfit, okay, I still got $500 to play with, maybe $450 to play with. You know what I mean? And I'm not out here putting on a facade for other people to look at me and validate me. You don't have to validate me. You don't have to get on the screen and say, Dave, you know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I've been through. I know what I felt. I know what I've seen. I know I've done. I know what I'm gonna do. I know where I know I'm going. I know what road I chose. I know what route I'm taking. I know what I have in motion. You don't. So nobody can validate me but me. And nobody should be able to validate you but you. And that's when facades and trends end. You know what I'm saying? So if it takes a belt for somebody to validate you and you lose your capital and you only have $300 or you only have $200 after that because you want to go buy some weed and do all that, that's one thing I've never done. Follow trends. It's like, oh, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I do. You know what I mean? It's crazy. The craziest thing in the world is when people try to make it a point to validate you. Guess what? When I'm on the truck, I don't care. I rock nothing but my own gear, LSF. I rock LSF to the day I die. Even when I'm off the truck, I still rock it. I got jerseys. I got my own gear. I don't care if it's not $1 million gear, but it's my own. You feel me? I'll rock my own. I'm branding myself. That's the difference. You don't gotta validate me and tell me it's tight or not. Because guess what? I know it's tight, and other people who like it know it's tight. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how this game works. Everybody's looking to be validated and to be respected in some type of manner or not. And you don't have to be. Like, so what? Who doesn't like you? So what? You know what I mean? Who doesn't like you? Nobody needs to like you. You need to like yourself. If you like yourself, that's good enough. I like myself. You want to know why? I like myself, and I'm able to go hang out with self. I'm able to go mentally hang out with self. I'm able to go sit in the park and eat and meditate by self. Can you do that? A lot of people don't understand praying, meditation, praying, all that. Do you pray in a group or do you pray when you by yourself? Meditate in a group or do you meditate by yourself? Either or. You want to be in a positive environment. People don't understand that. Man, so I just trying to give y'all free game. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first get off the truck, I am not sleepy. It takes me a minute to get sleepy. A minute. It's really like understand what my channel's about. It's more than just health and fitness. It's mental health too. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just health and fitness and mental health. It's happiness too. It's laughter. It's a chance to just come and vibe. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm priding myself on. And I'm gonna keep that coming for you, like, better and better. We are on the road to 1K, and I'm not gonna stop till I get it. And I'm not gonna stop till I see each and every one of you actually in a full chat talking to Day and vibing out with me. I promise you, because it's only gonna get better and better. This is a little different for me from my platform on Facebook, because on Facebook, my platform is way bigger. It's way bigger. And I can easily get 1,000 people to hop on a chat on a live. So it does get different. I can easily get a whole bunch of views and shares. And the more you guys start to interact with me, the more we can all touch bases and kind of vibe out with each other and talk to each other. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to ask questions either. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. I've been through stuff and I'm not afraid to tell my story. I've never been a harbor feelings. That's something I pride myself on too. I don't harbor feelings. You'll always know and you'll always get the 100. So whatever it is you feel you want to see more of, make sure you guys tap in. Whatever you want to hear more of. If you want more of the real Day, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because what happens is people get talk, a lot of people will interact, and it'll steer me away. You know what I mean? But like I said, my coming out story, I'm definitely gonna do that for you guys. And I'm gonna explain it. It is crazy. I had a lovely life. It might have been a struggle and it might have been a hustle, but it was pretty dope. You know what I mean? And that story of me coming out and being, and that's crazy. So many people walk through life afraid to be themselves, you know, and they gotta put up these facades and they gotta hold other people's hands and they gotta walk a certain way. They gotta talk to the people a certain type of way. Like it's crazy, you know what I mean? I pride myself on not caring what a person thinks. Now, in a few years back, like I stopped caring what people think and I started being myself. And then when I did that, that's when I started living and not existing. That's when I broke free of the mental slavery and I started to expand myself. And another thing too, just so you guys get a brief introduction too, my mom used to always have me reading Anderson, Indiana. And I didn't have sisters or brothers or anybody out there. So my mom was also always like, come in the house and read a book. You don't need to be outside with these kids, know them. Like she was very prideful. You know how old parents were. And I would always be in the house just reading. I started out reading that, and then kindergarten I started reading like Goosebumps and stuff like that as Goosebumps started coming out. And then boom, here you go with not Goosebumps. What was out during that time? It wasn't Goosebumps. I was reading all type of stuff. But I was reading chapter books by the time I was in first grade. And I was at a college level reading level. And I would always read the encyclopedia because my mom had 2 sets of Encyclopedia Britannicas. Y'all remember those if you old enough. Y'all remember what the encyclopedia was. That was the dictionary and the sources all together. You feel me? The whole explanation, everything. You know what I mean? So I would read those in my spare time. So I caught myself up on life a lot with that. And I was low key a nerd, but when I got back to California, I was so free and I was able to break away and be and just do my cousins up and run and do all this stuff. I got caught up. And it's easy to do, but it's just what it was. And as I started to embrace myself, people didn't like that. You know what I mean? That's why they tell kids like, oh, don't be yourself. I want my kids to always be themselves. I don't want to hold my kids back. And I remember asking my mom, like, why when we would be somewhere and I'd be having fun with kids my age, you would make me go look at the babies and go play with them. Like, go play with the babies. Go look at them. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So yeah, old school. So you know what I mean? Like that fucked with me, messed with me. Excuse my language. That messed up to the point to when I got older, I used to resent her for that. You know what I mean? And then I'll let go, of course, but it's just certain things that I in all respect. But you know what I'm saying? Like being pushed into a corner, those that was my trend. That's why I learned to just be myself. But when I started hanging out, of course, you know what I'm saying? You ready trends. If you're a parent of a teenager, you need to show them different life experiences. If you are a parent or a sister or a sibling of a teenager, show them different life experiences. That's all it takes is to show them a different way or a better version of life than what you had or anything. So front to back. And I've read a few other things as well too. A few other holy doctrines. And I'm pretty much well rounded. I don't judge anybody. I know where I come from, and I know the basis of what I represent as well. I know all the things that I've been through as a person and a human being. So, with that being said, that has created some type of little mini monster. And I really don't care if y'all like me or not, okay? Y'all ain't got to like me. Somebody gonna like me. Listen, you ain't got to vibe with me. Somebody's gonna vibe with me. This is what somebody's getting something out of it. Even if they're not watching the full version on this live. If they go through it and they watch it and they're like, dang, she was live for a while. You know what I mean? So you guys are with me. Continue to like, share, comment. Continue to check in with me. I'm going to be live all day today. I told y'all, I promised y'all. By myself. And they even detail my truck. So I'm pretty good. Make sure y'all tap in with me. And make sure y'all let Slick know we on for the day with the workout. And we getting it in. Let Slick know. But bless and positive. If this live stream end, it don't be I'm trying to tell y'all.